Welcome back to AA Cuber. This is a story of my first official WCA competition. I registered for this competition which was being held on May 15th at Hyderabad. And most of you know, I started serious cubing during the pandemic and got into competition only a year ago. So here goes the story of my first and certainly not the last cubing competition.
We reached early at the competition venue, so there were no hiccups. We started with registration, a very smooth process, just checking a few details and verifying a few. I got a participation certificate and a voucher of the CubeStore. The competition hall was well lit and well organized. Kudos to the volunteers and the organizing committee. The first event was 3x3 blindfolded. I was not participating in this event, amazed by the skill and speed. I think I want to try doing blindfolded. Let us see if I'm able to. New skills are always good. The rules were announced and made clear to first timers. The rules were simple. Put your cube in your assigned bucket, sit on the assigned table and solve. They also explained rules for DNFs and +2s. The CubeStore had a shop set up there. They had quite a collection of cubes. I checked out some of the cubes. How can I not buy one? I bought a Tornado V2 3x3. Stay tuned, I'll put up the unboxing video soon. The anxious moment began as 3x3 started. I loved and was inspired by the concentration levels of the competitors. Everyone had their own mannerism. The key was concentration. It was also seen in the audience as well. All of them were very supportive, keeping quiet so that no one is disturbed. I networked and made friends there. So the moment arrived, my first competition, and you observe anything? I needed 3 stacked chairs to sit. Started warming up. these were my 3x3 solve. Solve number 1, I got a 14.31. I was a little nervous and it was a very good scramble. It was a very smooth F2L, very good OLL and PLL. The second solve, I got a 15.69. It was the worst solve in the average. The F12 was very bad. I couldn't find some pieces because they were hidden in the back. The OLL and PLL were really easy and good. The third solve was a 15.19. It was a good scramble, but I messed up a lot in F12. The OLL and PLL were really good. The fourth solve was a 12.88. It was a very nice scramble. I found a good cross. F12 was very nice. OLL and PLL were also very nice. It could have been a little better if I didn't mess up that COLL. The fifth solve and the last solve was a 11.05. It was the best solve in the average. It was a very nice scramble. I did it very quickly. At the end, I did a COLL. I didn't realize that it would give me a PLL skip. 2x2 round 1. My first solve was a 2.61. It was the best solve in the average. It was a very easy and nice scramble. The second solve was a 4.08. It was a nice solve. I got a OLL skip, but I messed up a little on the PBL. My third solve was a 4.42. I don't really remember what happened in this solve. My fourth solve was a 3.32. It was a nice solve. The OLL was easy and the PBL was also very easy. The fifth solve was a 4.71. It was the worst solve in the average. I could not predict anything in the solve. Pyraminx was a good experience. My first solve was a 9.10. I messed up a little bit at the end by doing the wrong L4E case. My second solve was a 10.12, which was the worst solve in the average. I did the same algorithm 3 times thinking it was the opposite algorithm. That's why it's a little bad time. My third solve was a 8.87. It was a good solve. At the end, I got a little bit of a lockup, so it became a 8. It could have been a 7. My fourth solve was a 7.82. According to me, that was a very good solve. My fifth solve was a 7.48. It was the best solve in the average and I was really happy about that. It was my turn to volunteer. I volunteered to be a judge and a runner. Quite a responsibility it was. In fact, in the second round of the competition, there were only 24 people each. So, when the first 12 solved, the rest 12 judged, we just exchanged chairs. The scrambling volunteers were hard at work. Number of solves equal number of scrambles. Kudos to them as well. Time for 4x4. I performed over my expectations. I wanted every solve below 1 minute and 20 seconds and I did achieve it. My parents were sitting far away and they were looking at my solves. I was telling them my times using my hand movements. After a hard day of solving, filled my tummy with some junk. I thought I didn't want to eat, but I had to. Listen to my tummy. Back to judging and waiting for round 2. I had made it into round 2 for 3x3 and 2x2. In fact, I was in the top half at 7th position in 2x2. My friends and I had a small competition between the rounds. This kept me in the zone. Round 2 of 3x3. One of my friends sat as a judge. In fact, we were trading cubes in between the solves. I almost agreed to trade my GAN 11M Pro for a Moyu WRM 2021 maglev. My first solve was a 17.81. The scramble was very good, but my hands were a little shaky and I was a little tired after judging and being a runner. My second solve was a 14.74. The scramble was really bad, but I executed it fast. My third solve was a 17.22. The scramble was hard. I executed it well, but at the start, I couldn't find the cross pieces during inspection. My fourth solve was a 11.43. It was the best solve in the average. It could have been a little better if there wasn't an EPERM for PLL. My last solve was a 16.32. It was a really nice scramble, but my arch nemesis came at the end, a .OLL. Round 2 of 2x2. My first solve was a 4.97. It was a nice scramble, but I was not able to look ahead to OLL. My second solve was a 4.42. It was a nice scramble, but I don't really know why it was a 4. My third solve was a 5.72. It was a really good scramble. If I hadn't messed up the CLL case, it would have been a much better time. My fourth solve was a 4.29. It was the best solve in this average. I don't really remember what happened. The fifth solve was a 5.08. It was a really nice scramble, but the execution was really slow.
And it was a very well organized event. Well done, Deccan Cubing Association. They did a very good job. As for me, I need to put in a lot more hard work. The biggest gain for me was the connections I made with other cubers. I asked them questions at the event and got connected to some after the event. Bye!
If you like this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends and family, comment on this video, and last but not least, make sure to smash that subscribe button and make the bell ringing so you can get all my notifications.